What's good, YouTube? Today we have another market watch, and it's actually going to be a very interesting one because Fusion Enforcer slash the Eidolon seem to be hitting the market a lot. This is Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon, and it's at 2340 lowest on our TCG player, and it keeps creeping up. We had seen it when it spiked to 17, and I didn't think it would go further, but it keeps on going. Just a very, very interesting kind of synergy with the Eidolons. And also, of course, collectability. It's a Blue Eyes card, secret rare. I don't know, though. It's just going up so high before it's even seeing play that I don't know if it deserves its price, but it's going up even higher on eBay. There was a 23 on eBay last night that sold, and now the lowest on eBay is 26.50, so you actually save a couple of bucks coming over here. Go ahead and tell me in the comment section below what you think of Blue Eyes Eidolon, guys, because Blue Eyes Eidolon, it seems like, you know, the combination of having the Eidolon monsters with the Blue Eyes monsters does seem very good to me, but is it the best build? Is it deserving? Aren't Wind Witches kind of more hyped? Let me know what you guys think, because this is a lot of money on one card that you're going to use in your extra deck. I think you only play one. I actually don't know. Tell me if you do play multiple, but I think you only play one of these. I couldn't really see justifying, like, having extra deck space for more than one of this kind of a card. Now, Terror Top is rising and fast. I'd been watching it like a hawk, like I do with some cards like Materia Beast. And all of a sudden, overnight, it's become almost a $15 card. There's only one below 15 before we get to $15, but there's a 16 total holding the line here, and then 8 more, and then 30. So the line is going to hold very, very long at $15, but people are seriously realizing now there's not a ban list. Nothing's happening, and I've got events to play with these Zodiacs. So Terror Top is naturally starting to go up. A lot of people thought, oh, it's going to get limited, it's going to get hit, I'm going to get rid of mine now, it's going to go to 1. No way it's going to come into this format. Well, looks like for Seattle, we're going to have Terror Top running rampant in Zoodex, and a lot of people want to go ahead and win tournaments now, so Terror Top heading on up, and we see 1350, only one copy. Well, actually, it says 6, so let's check. Yeah, he still has 6, actually. So there's actually 2 playsets holding the line before it's $15, saving a couple of bucks on eBay here. So we actually see back and forth in this buyer's market, that the competitive market that's happening. It's definitely spiking between both sites, that sometimes TCG will be cheaper, and sometimes eBay is going to be the cheaper option. So you always want to check both. I know I stress this so much in my older things, and it should be obvious because I'm showing off both, but if you're spending that dough, save yourself a couple dollars, guys. Now, for a higher rarity card, and also kind of an effect of the Eidolons, we see the regular is at 1482. Well, there's no near mint copies except for this $20 and up range. It's rising very quickly, and people have realized, well, Terraforming is a card that's just good cross-format. It was up to 18 before, it fell back down. I don't think it ever had a reason to fall down because we were still using it in a lot of decks. You know, ABC, of course, but ABC started to fall off, and a lot of people started selling their ABC decks, and I guess their Super Terraformings went with it, naturally giving an oversupply to the market. Now, Super Terraforming is spiking back because all the Eidolon players are going to want it. And we also see it spiking. This is a Spanish one. Actually kind of a cool name, though. Terraformacion. But it's at 18 some odd. And then the lowest English is 19, which is a brand new listing. We've got another 19 and then 20. This man's has sold 92. Only 3 available left from this guy. But yeah, that's pretty crazy that Super Terraforming was that low. Like, to me, $14 is low for that card when it was at 18, and I felt like it should have kept going. I feel like this is going to eventually be $30 a playset one day, and field spells are always integral until this card gets hit. Like, field spells just keep doing more and more in the game. So, realistically, I think this is a card, one of the few times that I would ever suggest, like, going ahead and trading / buying a higher value card that's hitting 20. I could see it keep going. I could see it go to 25 / 30. But again, the commons are always good enough. I think the commons are actually hitting up to dollars, though. Let's go ahead and take a look at that, because that's kind of important to know that you've got dollar commons also. Yeah, look at this. Actually, $2 for the, that's the structure deck, the Dark World structure deck. We have $2 again. Then we have dollar versions for the Turbo, lightly played though. Yeah, $1.50 up. So, as you know, like on TCG Player, it would be cheaper if it was actually worthless, because commons on TCG Player can go as low as 9 cents, and they're like, please buy me out, please. Yeah, guys, looks like Terraforming's almost cementing itself at a $2 common, nearly. You can find some cheaper, but overall, $1.50 to $2 seems to be the range for the common even now. So it's just a really good card, and people are... It's been printed so many times, the quantity should be really high. But the thing is, if you're playing it, you're usually playing 2 to 3, and it's just such a good card because field spells are getting so good. Desires is going down. Finally, we were thinking at normal price 78. Nice, nice. But the lowest last night, I think, was 62, so that actually got bought. But overall, we continue to see the price fall. $8 is actually a huge dip from 72. So, I would just say, probably trade them now, unless you're playing variants that don't rely on combo pieces, which is almost any deck that's not Zoo, but everyone's going to be playing Zoo, I feel like. So I would go ahead and get rid of them now and trade for them back later. I cannot see it spiking back again in the format. Zoo is definitely going to take over the format, and if you're holding onto your Pot of Desires, I feel like it's just going to go down and hang around 50 very soon. So save yourself, you know, $36 on your playset, get them back if you're responsible with your money. Now, I'm always going to suggest this card when it falls to this point. Gem Knight Seraphinite DT is back down to $9 for the near mint. That's only $1 more than the Hidden Arsenal. To me, again, that's insane for a card that has spiked to $25 before. And we're starting to see Brilliant Fusion played in a lot of decks. We're seeing Brilliant Eidolon Zodiacs. We're seeing all sorts of Brilliant Fusion decks being started to test. I would go ahead and pick up your DTs now for these prices. Like, it's too good not to. It's always going to be such a good card. Brilliant Fusion has to get hit for this card to go back down. And I don't think they're hitting Brilliant Fusion. It just, it keeps going into the format and out of the format naturally. And it adds kind of like layers to your deck where you can brick. But it adds so much power to a lot of decks and enables so many decks. So, $9, guys, really only $1 above the Hidden Arsenal version, when it's been 25 versus 12 before. If it doesn't make sense to you, it doesn't make sense to me. But maybe people just don't like DT that much anymore, but that's false because Emerald is so high. So I can't find any line of thought or reasoning that this should only be $1 above the cheapest. And, you know, if there's only 2 copies before it goes to like 27, there's this, and then we see it also on eBay at $9.62, but only 1 copy before it is 12. So I feel like these are just people trying to turn their money, bigger vendors, bigger names. Let's kind of actually look at how many exist at the below $10 range. We've got 1, 2, 8, 9. So 9 total. That's 9 different people that can get their own DT Emerald right now. Or not Emerald, my bad. Their own DT Seraphinite right now for a pretty cheap price comparatively to the Super. So if you've been holding off, get these, seriously. Alright, usually I don't look at a set before it's both on TCG or eBay, but I actually want to discuss these sneak priest prices and what I think. Zodiac Barrage is at $60, and that's the lowest buy it now, and it's going up actually pretty fast since the mass set release hasn't happened and quantities are low. I think it will actually hold at 60 though. This is a German one. And then we see the lowest English is actually at like almost 70. It's the only 3 of. You're playing probably 2 Broad Bull. You're probably playing 2 Dridents. If you're playing the full deck. So I think that this card will definitely hold actually at 60 even past the mass release. At worst it goes down to 50. But Seattle's going to happen and it's going to show the dominance of the deck. Then Atlanta's going to happen. this deck's not getting hit that fast, I don't think, personally. We could have, you know, a full power pendulum 2.0 happen, but if anything's getting hit, it's things like Invoker and Terror Top, I would believe, instead of these cards. So I think we're going to be stuck with this engine for a while. And 60, that's about where it's at. Every time we've had a really good card come out and have the playset mentality. Sorcerers, remember how much those were on release. Strikes, need 3 of. Secret Rare, remember how much those were on release. And Reflective, you only need, I think this price will go down. I think he'll go down to like 30. Broad Bull, he's at 40 right now for the pre-orders, and I think similarly this will go down to 30, maybe 25 each even, because you only need 1 2 of. Some people are only going to play 1 and play a softer version of the engine, and some people are going to play 2 of each. But as a 1 to 2 of instead of 3 of, I think these will naturally stay much lower than the 3 of, and I think this card will stay up pretty darn high. So I would go ahead and actually, if like people are trading these for 50s, I would go ahead and trade for them, because I don't think it's going to dip past that point for a very long time unless something happens, such as a ban list that just wrecks everything. And Tiger Mortar is only 1074. I say only, which is a lot for an Ultra, but remember Mithrilium going up to like 16? You're either playing 1 or 2 of her, or not 3 like Mithrilium. So I think 10 is actually a pretty good price for her. We could see her fall to like 8, 7, but I don't think it'll go below that point. I think this is one of the more worthwhile Ultra Rares that we're going to have. And even though it's not a 3 of, such as Sage or Mithrilium, it's definitely going to be a 1, 2 of, depending on your build. Definitely a 1 of. I think it'll hold at 7 to 8. And now, this is a card that I thought was going to be 50 on release. This is kind of the card that's going to really shake things up. And I think, you know how some secrets are released and they're just lower than they should be? Desires, Tour Guide, Rabbit. I think this very well could be one of them, but I honestly don't see it going past 60 ever. So, maybe I'm just wrong, but lawn mowing has so much power, or I guess that grass looks greener now. But this card is so good. It's an enabler for so many decks, but having to play 60 cards is such a pain, and the price has gone up on things like Left Arm Offering and the Infernoids themselves. So it's really hard to justify it being higher, but I would go ahead and start trading for these. See if you can't trade for the sets at 25. I do not think this will ever go below 20. It could hit as low as 20 before it goes back up, though, but it needs to prove itself is really what it needs to do, and I think it will. I really do think this will prove itself as an engine. 60 card decks are probably back in fashion for a little bit. And now, I would get this almost immediately. $12 is so low for this Secret Rare. It's actually just insane to me. This deck enables so many rogue and fun decks. Now, I guess that's more the casual aspect, and the casual decks aren't catered towards it as much in terms of the market and exploding, but 12? Like, this card is actually pretty insane with some strategies, and it could easily be broken at any time with an announcement of a release of a, like, spell or trap card that you want to send to the graveyard. So I really think that this card is being underrated on release, but that's me, that's my personal opinion. It's just 12 is so low. That's my opinion. But what do you guys think? I don't think this is gonna, you know, it's gonna actually go down and naturally with any set release. Is it really gonna be an $8 secret, a $10 secret? Now, Theseus on release is $25, the best card hype. Theseus deserves it. It's going to be a 1 of, though, so I think we'll see it go down as a 1 of. I don't think most people are going to be bothering to play 2. Maybe if Norda got banned, they'll be playing 2, but then Instant Fusion decks are going to go out of style for a bit, unless you're trying to turbo out this card. So I think it'll go 15, 18. It was really hyped, though, so it's got a lot of backing and a lot of people wanting it. But it's a 1 of, remember. Now, 1 ofs can be very expensive, like Crystal Wing. So I could be completely wrong, but my initial reaction is, as a 1 of, I think this price will go down. So what do you guys think of all my assessments of the new set? All the Zodiacs, would you get your Barrages now, or are you going to wait? I would honestly wait on Broad Bull and Dryden if I could, but if you're playing in tournaments, you know, you gotta suck it up sometimes. This isn't so bad. This doesn't hurt the wallet too bad. And then this was better than expected for me, at least. And again, what do you guys think of the Eidolon Hype? Are you guys, did you guys sell your Terratops? Tell me all about this market watch. Tell me in the comments below what you think about all of these things. It's a pretty insane week once again with a set release, and I usually don't cover the set release that soon, but I actually did want to discuss because these prices actually, the prices overall actually are shocking me a bit. Like, I expected the Xyz prices. I didn't expect Barrage to go up that fast, and Lawn Mowing and Foolish are actually lower than I expected. Theseus is actually kind of higher than I expected. So let me know what you guys think, and are you all buying these as singles or are you buying sealed product?